everybody, how's it going? Adam Booker here, bringing another review today. I've got a new offering from Remic Microphones. It's their limited edition, limited run D540, which I am officially dubbing the Remic White. We have the Remic Red and the Remic Green, the 5400 and the 5400 LB respectfully. I've been using these microphones for about 4 years now. Now, there's a couple of primary differences with the D540. It's basically a no-frills Remic, which is actually really kind of cool. It puts it at a price point that's far more competitive. Not that the price of the older models or the more boutique models aren't worth it. Those are excellent microphones, and I think that's an excellent price for them. They're usually retailing at about $750. The 540, let's get to the big numbers real quick. The 540 is retailing for $399. It's only available on their website, and right now it's currently only a limited run. I think he's only made about 25 of these. And the main difference is that this is just basically a no-frills, very bare bones Remic bass mic. So with that, I'm looking at the website right now, and you can find them, remic.dk. And let's see, what makes it different? Well, there's no built-in windshield, no gold-plated XLR connector, no options for wireless systems, only one standard model for the double bass. You know, the older versions have the 5400 and the 5400 LB attenuated for different live music situations. Sensitivity tolerance plus or minus 3 decibels, 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. It's delivered without the pouch, like the older mics are, and it's also delivered without the hard case. As far as delivery is concerned, if you're worried about that, though, it flew all the way from Denmark to North Carolina during a global pandemic in a perfectly sized box. Lots of little egg foam in there. Came in perfect condition, wasn't an issue at all, and Remic's shipping is excellent. They usually get it to you within all the way across the pond. I think the total amount of time was only about 3 days tops. So. And that's been my experience with anything that they've sent me to test out or try out. So it's only offered on the website. You can't find these in any stores anywhere. It's not through any international dealer or distributor network. And like I said earlier, they've only made 25. Although I think by the end of this recording, of this review, we all might want to just email them and say, hey, make more of these, because these are actually pretty good microphones. It kind of reminds me of like the Cascade ribbon mics, how they have the Cascade, like they're all gold and wood trim and everything, and then Cascade made another of the same element basically, but without the gold trim and without all the wooden accoutrement, what have you. But it's still a great microphone for the price. So you're still going to get the same superior feedback suppression. You're going to get some good isolation against ambient noise and bleed from neighbor instruments. Great sound quality. Groundbreaking innovative mount, which, I'm reading this from the website, which I actually kind of love. I've done a couple of reviews using Remics, and this is the actual microphone itself. It's a little wedge. Fits under the fingerboard, fits under the bridge, fits under the tailpiece. My original review, I had this under the fingerboard, and I've since kind of migrated it down to the tailpiece because I think I'm getting a little bit more of a broad spectrum of tone that way. That's how it's originally designed to be used anyway. I was just enamored with just the warmth and the roundness of the bass tone, but you got to have a little bit more cut sometimes. So anyway, what you're going to hear is a series of experiments that I did here in my home office, away from the office, and it's going to be back-to-back between the 5400, the Remic White, that's what I'm calling it. Sorry, Thorkild, if you have another name for it. Remic White and the Remic Red, the 5400, which is an excellent microphone that I've used for classical recordings. I performed the Ten Dunes Wolf Totem Concerto with this about a month ago. With a whole orchestra, bass cut just fine through it. Sounded like my bass, only louder, which is exactly why I stick with this microphone company. So without further ado, let's just go into the series of experiments. Hope you enjoy, and I'll talk to you on the other side. Actually, before we get to the reviews, or before we get to the experiments, let's talk a little bit about my setup here in the office. So I know a lot of us are moving to this online learning, online instruction platform that we're kind of all forced to nowadays with the pandemic going on. So here's what I've got running in the system. This is what I use for all the experiments. I'm using my trusty Grace Designs Felix, which, yes, you want one. Now, you can check out my review on the Grace Felix on my YouTube channel. Everything's going into Zoom F8. Actually, I just mounted this up about 3 days ago. I have been running without it, but I started working on some audio projects, which you're going to get to hear in a little bit too. Um, Little Allen and Heath ZE8, all going to the computer, and I grabbed the big TV out of my office so I can do the split screen hang. Everything going through some JBLs. For the purposes of all of the experiments that you're going to hear, both microphones are being run completely flat on the Felix. There's no I haven't adjusted the high pass filter. I haven't adjusted any mids. Everything's just running perfectly flat, so you can kind of get a sense of what the flat signal sounds like. All right, well, there you have it. That's the Remic D540 in comparison to the 5400 LB. I've let you decide and you make your own judgments on it. I really like this microphone. I think for a limited run, for what it's intended to do, I think it does a fantastic job. It feels a little punchier to me than the 5400. I think the 5400 captures a little bit more of the room ambience, a little bit more air, if you will, in the sound. And you know, I could see myself using this on a gig. I haven't, of course, I don't have any gigs coming up because we're all on stay-at-home orders here in North Carolina, like much of the world. But when it does happen, when the gigs start rolling in again, I'm gonna be definitely trying this out, and I'll make some videos with that when that happens too. So if you like what you hear, subscribe to my YouTube page. If you want to hear some more, if you really want to hear the 5400 and the 5400 LB hard at work, stay tuned on this video. You'll see an ad for my most recent release, 7 Last Words, featuring a jazz mass written by yours truly and a recording of 7 Last Words from the Cross by a great friend and composer and bass teacher and performer David Hayes out of the United Kingdom. Fantastic music. I'm very proud of this record, and I hope you can pick it up somewhere and give it a listen. Sit back, relax for an hour, and just enjoy some bass. And I mean, these are the microphones that I used for that recording, and I'm very happy with the sounds that I got. So anyway, I hope you all take care, and I hope you are all making the best of the situation as possible. And I will see you all soon. Thank you very much.